linear curve, non-linear element, single sentence. No need to write down the, okay. 2 marks means not 2 sentence. 1 mark means not 1 sentence. You have to write down the answer in a simple way. Okay. Define active element. It is a 2 mark question. You answer. What do you mean by active element? The elements which deliver the energy is known as active elements. You will get 2 marks. No need to worry for that. 2 marks means 2 line, 1 mark means 1 line. No, there is no such principle is there. Down the answer with respect to limits. Okay, right. This is about 3. And you are having one more definition for this linear element, but that is you will not understand, but I will explain. What is meant by linear? Another definition. Another definition. The elements which follow the principle of superposition. The element which follow the principle of superposition is known as linear element. The element which doesn't follow the principle of superposition is known as non-linear element. What is meant by superposition? That you will not understand now. Okay. We are having superposition theorem at the time you will understand. Okay. Right. So that is another definition with respect to linear element and non-linear element. Okay. Next one is lumped element and distributed element. Okay. Lumped element and distributed element. Simply you can say, okay, lumped element. Lumped element means the parameter of the any element is measurable. Is measurable. Okay, you may ask, sir, measurable means all parameters I have to measure. I will tell. Some parameters we cannot measure. Some parameter we cannot measure. Okay, so I will tell which parameter will like we cannot measure. So simply you can say lumped element means the parameter of the element is measurable. It is having finite value. Finite value means I know the value. Finite. Unknown means you don't know. Infinity, what is the value? Infinity, what is the value? No. 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000, 10,000,000? No. We cannot measure. Okay. So for example, if you take pen, okay, it is having weight. You are seeing this. It is having weight. It is having length. It is a measurable. Okay. You are seeing. Okay. So that is about lumped elements. So generally what we are seeing, that means a resistor is a lumped element. Why? Because resistor is an element which is a device. We can see the resistor. Okay. We can see the inductor. We can see the voltage source. We can see the okay. We can see the all the elements. Resistor, inductor, capacitor, diode. Okay. Diode. Okay. MCT. That is okay. IGBT. Transistor. Everything we can see. And it has its parameter value. It has finite length, finite weight, finite value, measurable. That is nothing but lumped elements. Its parameter is at one place. Lumped means we are bringing all the values at one place, lumped, and we are making as a resistor. It is a pen. So this is manufactured from a plastic ore. Some of the part we are converted into some small plastic which we are saying it is a pen. It is a measurable. Okay, right. Then what is mean by distributed elements? So distributed element means which doesn't have any finite length. Okay, the parameter of the element, distributed element means the parameter of the element is not measurable. For in order to measure this value, we have to assume. We have to assume. I'm not having money. Can I say I'm having 1 million, 1 million rupees? Yes, you can say yes. Okay. Where is the money? You don't know. Say yes, say no. Okay. There is no truth. There is no true. So the parameter of the elements is distributed along the line or along the length, which is having infinity length. Okay. Example I will tell. Okay. Only one element we are having, that one. Distributed element, we are having only one element. What are they? So generally, I think you have seen the electrical poles. Electrical poles, where the conductors are going. Okay. Where they starts? Where they starts? In your house? Where they starts? At the generating stations. Generating station. Where they are? At a far distance. Can you measure the length? Can you measure the length? How many kilometers they are having? Where they can end? Where they can end? It may end at our college. It may end at your house. It may end at any college. It may end at different places. We cannot measure the length of the conductor. We cannot measure the length of the conductor. You are seeing conductor. How much kilometer you are seeing with respect to your eye? How much length it is having? How much length it is having? Thousands of lengths. Infinity length. Okay. Our power is utilized by another country also, like Pakistan, Bangladesh. How much length it is having? No, we cannot measure. So for this, the parameter of that conductor, we have to assume it is having a length of 1000 kilometer. It is having a length of 10,000 kilometer. It is assumption. Okay. So distributed element means the parameter we cannot measure the distributor. Okay. The parameter is distributed along the line. How much weight it is having? Distributed along the line. How much distance it is having? It is, we have to assume. Okay. So examples of distributed element means, we can call it as distribution elements. Pole conductors are there. We can call it as distribution elements, distribution lines or transmission lines. Very big towers are there, big towers. That big towers is called as transmission lines. Okay, what is the meaning of, how can you define distribution line, distribution element? Okay, the parameter of the distributed element is not measurable, which is having infinity length. Okay, and which is not measurable. For this, we have to assume that it is having a finite length. Okay, and a parameter is distributed along the line, where it is distributing from here to any one place to one place, infinity length. Okay, parameter is unmeasurable, which is having a infinity length. For assumption, we can say it is having a length of 1000, 10,000. Okay, that is about distributed and lumped element. Lumped element means what you are seeing, all the elements, resistor, inductor, capacitor, diode, transistor, everything is having its own value and weight length. Okay, right. So this is about a classification of elements. Okay, for example, if I say resistor comes under which category now, you tell me? Resistor is a passive element. Okay, resistor is a linear element. Resistor is a bilateral element. Resistor is a lumped element. Okay, like this you have to tell. Inductor, so inductor is a bilateral element. Inductor is a linear element. Inductor is a lumped element. Diode is a unilateral element. Diode is a non-linear element. Diode is a lumped element. Transistor is a bilateral element. Transistor is a non-linear element. Transistor is a lumped element. Like that, if we pick any element, we have to categorize that element, whether it belongs to linear, non-linear, active or passive. Okay, bilateral, unilateral, lumped and distributed. Okay, so these are the classification of elements. Okay, right. So after this, sources, sources or source. Okay, so generally, okay, so source is nothing but which delivers the power. Source means which delivers the power. Example is battery or same energy. So as we are saying, they are active elements. So source is nothing but the active element. Sources are there, the active element. Okay. So see, these sources are classified as two types. These sources are classified as two types. Okay. One is DC source. Okay. Second one is AC source. Okay, DC source and AC source. So what is the word actually DC? What is the word actually AC? That is the abbreviation of DC, that is direct current and alternating current. Okay, so here direct current. What is mean by direct current actually? So here, okay, DC source. DC source means, okay, DC source means, example is battery. Okay, battery. So in this DC source, you may have the voltage source in DC. Further, it is dividing as voltage source, current source. What is the function? Both voltage source and a current source. Both will deliver the power. That is the main definition of source. Source means which delivers the power. Source means which delivers the power. Okay, so in this further it is divided as voltage source and a current source. Okay, now what is meant by DC? Voltage source, current source is different. Now what is meant by DC actually? DC is nothing but it is a constant value as time tends to infinity. It will not change. The value of the parameter, the value of the parameter is constant irrespective of the time, is known as DC value. DC value, direct current means DC means the value is constant with respect to time. The value will not change. The parameter is constant. The constant one. Time is increasing. What is the value? It is having one value. It is constant as t tends to infinity. Okay. So this is about direct current. Means the value or the parameter is constant irrespective of the time, is known as direct current, DC. Okay. Right. What is meant by AC source then? AC source. So AC source also further divide as voltage source and current source. Why we have to classify or divide as voltage source and current source means the parameter will the parameter here, voltage source. It is a DC source, but voltage source. So voltage is major one. Current source, current is major one. Major one means actively participating. That is, you may say actively participating. Okay. So power means which is having the voltage and current. No need to worry, but I will tell. Okay. Right. AC source means the parameter of the element. The parameter is changing with respect to time, and one more with respect to phase. Phase. With respect to phase. Then what is meant by phase here? You can say angle. Simply alternating current. AC is nothing but alternating current. Altering means what is the meaning of altering? Changing. Okay. For example, my shirt is someone broken or something happened, so I will give to tailors for alteration. Yes. Do you know the meaning of alteration? Something they will do. Okay. Altering means changing its parameter value as well as phase also. Phase, what is the meaning of phase? Angle. Do you know the sine wave, how it will be? Sine wave, sine is equal 0, what is the value? 0. Sine is equal 90, what is the value? Maximum value or 1. Sine is equal 180, what is the value? 0. As the angle changes, the value changing. Okay. Sine 270, what is the value? -1. So sine 90 is 1, sine 270 is -1. When compared to 1, what about the -1? Exactly opposite. 1 is a positive 1, -1 is a negative 1. Magnitude is same. It is 1, it is 1. But what is the difference? It is having positive value, it is having negative value. So positive value, negative value. So positive values and negative values with respect to angle. Sine 0, sine 90, 180, 270, 360, 480, and so on up to infinity. What happens to this value? It is having positive values, it is having 0 values, it is having negative value. Again, it is revolving as positive, negative 0, positive, negative 0, positive 0, negative 0, like that. So altering, changing the value with respect to time as well as with respect to an angle. Magnitude is changing, positive value. It is getting 0, it is getting negative, it is getting 0, it is getting positive. So altering, changing, positive value, negative value, altering, negative value, positive value, altering. So that's why we can say AC is nothing but alternating current, which follows. Generally, we have to assume one of the curve. So we will assume as AC means sine wave. AC means sine wave. Okay. So simply you can say this is the wave. And so on. Okay. What is the x-axis? You can take time or you can take phase or angle. Angle. Okay. Angle. So as the value of the 0, 90, 180, 270, 370. What is going to happen here? Positive value, negative value. Positive value, negative value. Positive value, negative value. Altering, positive, negative, positive, negative. Alternatively changing the value as the angle changes, as the time changes. Okay. This is about alternating. Okay. Alternating current means, okay, any parameter, if you take voltage or current, any parameter, its value is changing with respect to time, its value is changing with respect to angle. Whereas DC, it is a constant. Okay, it doesn't have any angle here, it doesn't have any angle, constant one. Okay, right. Now this is about the definition of DC and AC. Then how can we represent a DC voltage source? How can we represent DC voltage source? DC voltage source means, so this is the DC voltage source, which is having positive terminal, which is having negative terminal, which is denoted as voltage V. It is a DC source, DC voltage source, which will deliver the power, Who are taking that power? Remaining elements, that is passive elements, resistor, inductor, capacitor, diode, transistor, any elements. So it is a DC voltage source, or you can say battery. So battery, I think if you see in the battery in your wall clock or in your phone, nowadays you cannot see the battery, but olden days you can see the battery, which is having positive terminal and a negative terminal. What is the meaning of here positive terminal? What is the meaning of positive terminal? What is the meaning of negative terminal? What is the meaning of positive terminal? Positive means high potential. What is the meaning of minus or negative? Low potential. Okay, high potential and a low potential. Okay, so battery is having both potentials, that is high potential and low potential. That maybe you can say positive. High potential means positive representation. Positive plus symbol indicates a high potential. Negative indicates a low potential. Okay, right. Do you know the property of the current? What is meant by current? How can you define the current? Flow of electrons where? So current is nothing but flow of electrons in a conducting material. From where to where electrons will flow? From where to where electrons will flow? Electron will flow from one place to other place. From where? What is that one place to other place? Which place? So electrons will always move from high potential to low potential. Electrons always flow from high potential to low potential. Okay, not either direction. Electrons will not move from minus negative potential to positive potential. Okay, right. So here one more, current source. Current source means which is nothing but here, which is represented as like this, arrow mark and a current value. It is a current source. So current direction here we are indicating upward, or may it indicates downward also. Here also you may indicate plus minus or minus plus. Nothing will happen. Okay. So generally, can I say 1 is equal to minus 1? Can I say? Is it correct? 1 is equal to minus 1. Is it correct? Okay. V is equal to minus V. Is it correct? I is equal to minus I. Is it correct? Is it correct or say? Is it correct or not? You tell me. 1 is equal to minus 1. Can I say? No. V is equal to minus V. Can I say? Say yes. I will tell. Okay. So with respect to electrical engineering or with respect to electronic engineering, we can say 1 is equal to minus 1. How it is? It is not possible with respect to mathematics. Yes? With respect to mathematics, is not possible. 1 cannot become minus 1. Then how can I say they are equal? How can I say they are equal? Simply, see, here 1 means plus 1, minus 1 means minus. So plus and minus. So here the indication of plus and minus, okay, only for the direction of current. Only the direction of current. Simply if you take one element, it is an element, it is an element. Okay. So a current of 1 amp is flowing. Plus 1. Can I say? Okay, I'm saying a current of 1 amp is flowing from A point to B. What is the meaning of here plus 1? A current of 1 amp is flowing from A to B. Now I am changing now. A current of -1 amp is flowing from B to A. What is the different? What is the different here? Only the direction of current is leaving from A, current is leaving from B. What is the magnitude? 1. 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 So current is flowing from A to B, means +1. Current is flowing from B to A, it is a -1. Okay. ఏం లేదండి నిమజ్జనం చేస్తున్నారు. If you want, you can go. That is okay. That is your problem, not my problem. Right. Okay. Current is flowing from A to B. +1. Current is flowing from B. అమ్మాయి నిమజ్జనం అమ్మ ఏం లేదు. నువ్వు పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి చూస్తూనే ఉన్నావు. మళ్ళీ ఏం చూస్తావు? మళ్ళీ ఏం చూస్తావు? Okay. So what is the meaning of +1 and -1? What is the meaning of +1 and -1? It indicates the plus and minus indicates the direction of current. Now you tell me +1 is equal to -1 in electrical engineering? Yes. What is the difference then? Direction. Okay. For example, one student got +1 plus 1.73. One student got -1.73. Both answers are correct. Both answers are correct. They will get the marks. She will get the marks. She will get the marks. Only the different, she is considering from A to B. She is considered as B to A. Nothing change. Okay. Right. That is about current source and voltage source. Okay. What is the meaning here? Actually, A to B current is flowing 1. B to A current is flowing -1. Exactly opposite to the first one. +1 -1. Okay. Plus V minus V. What is the meaning plus V and minus V? It is a plus V. Minus V means simple. Interchange the terminals. Interchange the terminals. Minus plus. So minus. Okay, like this. Okay. Only interchange the terminal means, see, here current is leaving from here. So it is going like this. Here the current leaves always from positive. Here. But direction is upward, direction is downward. Direction is changing only which indicates the direction, whether it is a clockwise or whether it is a anti-clockwise. Nothing. Okay. Clockwise direction, you take +1. Anti-clockwise direction, you may take -1. Or clockwise direction, you take a -1. If you are taking clockwise direction as -1, anti-clockwise direction +1. The direction you have to represent two different directions. Okay. Right. So this is about sources. And now you tell me Ohm's law. Do you know Ohm's law? Already you studied in Inter. Ohm's law. Tell me. Ma silence. What is meant by Ohm's law? How can you state? Huh? Voltage. Voltage is directly proportional to the current. Where? 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 In a conductor. Is there any limitation? Is there? Is there any limitation? Is there? No limitation. So Ohm's law. It is a 2-mark question actually. It cannot be essay question, long answer question. Define Ohm's law. So the limitation is this Ohm's law is holds good for a constant temperature elements. Okay, that means at a constant temperature. Okay, Ohm's law states that at constant temperature. Okay, current flowing through the element at constant temperature, current flowing through the element is directly proportional to the potential difference across that element. This is Ohm's law. At constant temperature, current flowing through the conducting material or any conductor is directly proportional to the voltage across the conductor. Where is the voltage? Voltage is across the conductor. Where is the current? Current is flowing in the conductor. So whatever the current is flowing in the conductor, current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the voltage across that conductor. Okay, that is about Ohm's law. So you can write this one as the formula as I proportional to V. So as the current is changing, voltage is changing. Current is increasing, voltage is increasing. Current is decreasing, voltage is decreasing. Okay, do you know the definition of voltage? Simply you can say voltage is nothing but it is a measured quantity. Voltage is nothing but it is a measured quantity. Always we will measure the voltage with respect to 2 points or 2 terminals. Okay, or you can say potential difference. Voltage can be defined as potential difference across the elements. Potential difference across the element or across the 2 terminals. What is the potential difference exist between these 2 points? That is PD. Potential difference is nothing but voltage. So this terminal, A terminal is having some potential, B terminal is having some potential. Okay, what is the potentials of difference of existing at two different points is nothing but potential difference. Potential difference exists across 2 terminals is nothing but voltage. Okay, don't write down the physics definition. In electrical engineering, don't write physics definition. In physics definition, what is the definition? Voltage physics definition. W by Q, work done per unit charge. It is the amount of work done by an element or any place, any terminal, any point with respect to, okay, in order to move one charge. It is the work done of the charge which is moving from one place to another place. How much work is taking place with respect to in order to move a charge from one place to other place. That is physics. Don't write that physics definition. Only write down voltage nothing but potential difference across the 2 terminals. Across the 2 terminals. Where they are having at different places, A point, B point. A terminal, B terminal. What is the difference between them? Potential. Okay, potentials exist. Difference. What is the difference between them? Potential difference across the 2 terminals is known as voltage. Okay, so it is a measured quantity. So always we will measure the voltage with respect to 2 terminals. Okay, current in nothing but flow of electrons in the conductor. So for example, if you take these are the 2 different potentials. So if it is high potential, current will flow from A to B. If it is B is high potential, current will flow from B to A. Potential, 2 different potentials are existing. For example, these 2 terminals is having same potential, there will not flow of electrons. Okay, A terminal is having some one potential. Let us say B terminal is having one potential. There will not be any movement of electrons here. Why? Because they are having same potentials, so same levels. Okay, so always see, always current leaves from positive potential, travels anywhere, and it terminates on low potential. Is a property of the current, property of electrons. Current will leave from positive potential and terminates on negative potential. Okay, so this is about voltage, current, voltage source, current source, and DC source, AC source, and it is about okay, I is equal proportional to V. I is proportional to V. Okay, now here we know whenever there is a proportionality is occurring, we have to remove that proportionality. Okay, there exists then, if we want to remove that proportional, there exists a proportionality constant. Yes, now I am removing that. If I remove this proportionality proportionality, there exists a now proportionality constant. Okay, that is nothing but IR is equal to V, or V equal to IR. V equal to IR. So this is the formula pertaining to Ohm's law. V equal to IR is the formula pertaining to Ohm's law. Okay. Now, what is meant by R? Simply you can say it is a proportionality constant. It is a proportionality constant. But okay, that is a proportionality constant. What is the name of that R? Okay, that R is nothing but now a term that is nothing but resistance. Resistance. Okay, now we will define what is meant by resistance. Okay, so resistance is a term which is derived from the Ohm's law. Okay, what is meant by resistance now? Resistance is hello. Hello. So resistance is the nothing but it's a property of material which doesn't allow flow of electrons. V is proportional to I. V is changing, I is changing. Now one term is there. V is equal to IR. So this R, what it will do? Actually R, okay, which limits the voltage, which limits the current. Okay, which limits the current or which limits the voltage. Simply you can say resistance is the property of material. Any material is having a resistance. It's a property of material which doesn't allow flow of electrons. Okay, or you can say which opposes the flow of electrons, which opposes the flow of electrons in the conductor or any place. Okay, that is about resistance. So resistance is measured in ohm. Resistance is measured in ohm. Now what is mean by resistor now? What is mean by resistor? Resistor. What is mean by resistor now? What is mean by resistor? ఇది కాదు కదా. What is mean by resistor? So what is mean by resistor? Resistor is an element. Okay. Resistor is an element which follows the principle of resistance. Somebody has to follow the property of resistance. Somebody has to follow. So there is an element called resistor. So resistor is an element which follows the principle of resistance. One device is there that we are naming as resistor. So resistor is an element which follows the principle of resistance. In other definition, resistor is an element which doesn't allow to flow the or which opposes the flow of electrons in it. Which opposes the flow of electrons in it. Resistor is a device, is an element which doesn't allow flow of electrons in it or which opposes the flow of electrons. Okay, that is about resistor. Now you tell me this resistor is a device which is okay invented by the principle of Ohm's law. From the Ohm's law, we manufacture resistor elements. Yes, right. Now next one is inductor. So there are actually, with respect to elements, basic electrical circuit elements is concerned. Electrical circuit elements, electrical elements, or you can say electrical circuits elements. How many? Three elements we are having. One is known as resistor. Second one is inductor. Third one is capacitor. So these are the three elements we can call it as basic electrical circuit elements. If you take any electrical circuit which consisting of combination of these three, it may consisting of only resistor, it may consisting of resistor and inductor, it may consisting of inductor and capacitor. So I think you have seen this fan. Fan, do you have seen fan? Not this one, inside that fan. So it has winding, it has capacitor. Yes, and winding has resistance. Winding has resistance. So if you take the fan, all the three elements are exist. If you take the fan, all the three elements are exist. Winding, that is nothing but copper wire which is having resistance. Okay, the winding is nothing by itself, we can call it as winding. What is meant by winding actually? Winding we are saying. What is meant by winding? What is meant by winding? You don't know? Winding is nothing but winding. That is your answer, not my answer. That is your answer. Okay, so winding is nothing but process of molding of electrical conductor is known as winding. It has a process to mold the conductor in a particular way. That is nothing but winding, not zigzag manner. Okay, it has some process to mold that winding. That process total combination of the total process, that is nothing but we can call it as winding. Okay. Poinda. So that is known as winding. Okay. Now, if you take the fan, it has resistance, that means resistor. Okay. Inductance, that means inductor, capacitor. Okay. You can see live capacitor, but you cannot see the resistor. You cannot see the winding. Okay. You cannot see the inductance. So that is the property of that material. It has resistance, it has inductance. So winding is nothing but which is having inductance. Winding is having inductance as well as resistance. Capacitor you can see live. Okay, like this, any if you take any electrical device, any electronic device which is a combination of these three elements, it must be any combination. Okay, right. Now resistor is over. What is the mean by resistor? Resistor. Okay, resistor is nothing but it's the element which opposes the flow of electrons. Okay, so which is denoted as, resistor is denoted as, which is denoted as, okay, like this, which is having the resistance. Let us say resistor is having 2 ohm, 2 ohm. Resistor having 2 ohm resistance. Resistor having 10 ohm resistance. Okay, like this we can call. Okay, so this is the symbol of the resistor. You can denote as small r or capital R, which is having two terminal, terminal 1, terminal 2, or you can say terminal A, terminal B. So it is a bilateral element, resistor, which allows the flow of current from A to B. Nothing will happen. Okay, from it allows the current flow from B to A, or 2 to 1, or 1 to 2. Its property, the resistor property will not change. It will not get any damage. So resistor is a bilateral element. Okay, so this is about inductor. What is mean by resistor? What is mean by inductor now? Inductor. So inductor is a device, okay, which doesn't allow sudden change of current. Which doesn't allow sudden change of current. Okay. So inductor is a device which doesn't allow change of current. Okay. What is the meaning of sudden change of current? Di by dt. So this is the meaning. Okay. So inductor is a device which doesn't allow sudden change of current in it. It is a device. You can see that device, inductor you can see. Inductor is a device, or you can say it is an element which doesn't allow change of current in it. What is mean by resistor? Which doesn't allow flow of electrons. Doesn't allow flow of current. Here not flowing. Here sudden change. Change means with respect to time, di by dt. Current is changing with respect to time, which doesn't allow change of current. Change of current is different, which doesn't allow the opposite the flow of current is different. Opposing. Okay, opposing. Changing. Two different words. Okay, right. That is about inductor. So inductor has the inductance. Inductor has the inductance, which is denoted as, which is represented as like this. Okay, it is a symbol which is having L. The unit is Henry. Unit is Henry. Henry is the unit of inductor. Okay, so we are having only DC circuits. So DC circuit means we have to use only resistor. We are not using any inductor and capacitor for solving of any problem. With respect to cell bus is concerned, you have to use only resistive circuits. Resistor, only resistor. Okay, right. So this is about inductor. What about the capacitor then? Capacitor. Simple, capacitor. So capacitor is a device, or capacitor is an element which doesn't allow sudden change of voltage. Sudden change of voltage means dV by dt. So voltage is changing with respect to time. What is the meaning of dV by dt? Voltage is changing with respect to time. Sudden change of voltage. Sudden change of voltage. This capacitor will not allow. It will not allow. Okay, so capacitor is a device or element which doesn't allow sudden change of voltage. Okay, right. So capacitor is represented as C. Its unit is farad. It is a symbol. Okay, which is, you can say, capacitor. The one capacitor is having, okay, 2 farads, or we can generally, which is microfarads, we can say 2 farads, 10 farads, like this. Okay, so these are the 3 elements. Okay, now actually if you want to write down the, with respect to cell bus is concerned, the inductor capacitor is not required. Just as you know, V equal to IR from the Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. That is the voltage across resistor. Can I write now like this? It is a resistor. Okay. Now, what is the voltage exist in between them? In between the resistor. That is nothing but voltage. Voltage across the resistor. Okay. V equal to IR. V equal to IR. What is the meaning actually? Voltage exists across the resistor is equal to how much current is flowing through the resistor? I. What is the value of resistance? R. So here voltage across the resistor is nothing but current flowing through the resistor and its resistance. What is the meaning here? V equal to IR. How much current is flowing here? I current is flowing. I current is flowing through the resistor and its resistance, its value. That is the meaning, V equal to IR. So if resistor exists, there exists a voltage. Okay, if resistor exists, there exists a voltage across the element. Across the element, how much V? How can I write this V? V is equal to the amount of current flowing through the element, that is I, and its resistance, that is R. So V equal to IR. Okay, so kindly understand the meaning of IR. I, what is mean by I? I is nothing but the amount of current which is flowing through the resistor. What is mean by R? R is nothing but resistance. Okay, the resistor is having the resistance of something ohm. What is mean by V? V is nothing but voltage across the resistor. Voltage across the resistor. So this is the meaning, V equal to IR. Okay, right. This is about Ohm's law. Okay, and now, so in order to solve the problems, in order to solve the problems, in order to start the problems, you have to know about, okay, so types of connections. Types of connections. What is the meaning of types of connection? What is the meaning of connection? So one element is connecting to another element or joining. One element is available. How I need to connect this one element to other element? One element to other element. How can I connect? How many ways I can connect? Two elements are there. One is resistor, R is there, other resistor is there. One voltage source is there, other resistor is there. One inductor is there, one resistor is there. So how many ways we can connect the elements? That is nothing but connection of different type of connections. Or how can we connect these elements? So here we can connect the elements in a generally 4 ways we can connect. How many ways? 4 ways. One is series connection. Series connection. Second one is parallel connection. I think you are having an intermediate series connection of the resistor and parallel connection of resistor. Then third connection, third connection, huh? Star connection. Star means not cable connection. Star connection. The other name is Y connection. The other name is Y connection. You can write like this, Y connection. Okay. Fourth one is delta connection. So delta connection means the symbol is this one, delta. You know the delta symbol? Yes. Y. Okay. So we can connect any elements, any type of elements in a 4 ways. Okay. That is series connection. Second one is parallel connection. Third one is star connection. Fourth one is delta connection. Okay. Now with respect to calculating of different parameters. Okay. So these two type of connections exist for a power calculations are in power industry are high circuits, big circuits. Okay. With respect to your cell bus is concerned, we will deal with a series connection and a parallel connection. Okay. Now you tell me what is meant by series connection. If any elements are said to be in series, so what is meant by series connection? What is meant by series connection? So kindly understand, compulsory you have to, it is mandated to understand the series connection and parallel connection. If you are unable to identify the elements how they are, it means you will not get a solving of any type of problem. First unit you will not get. Why? Because as of now we have done any zero problems. You have to solve the problem. For this you have to get the concept of series and parallel. Okay, series and parallel. Okay, now what is meant by series connection? So series connection means, for example, here one resistor is there, R1. So R1 element is having two terminals, name it as 1 and 2. One more element I am taking, another resistor, R2. R2. So I need to connect this, I need to connect these elements into series. How we have to connect? Is there any rule is there? Or if we connect, if how can we say they are in series? Two elements are said to be in series. What is the condition? Okay, it must satisfy two conditions. Okay, by seeing you can tell. Okay, right. So I'm connecting these two are in series. Okay. They are in series. Now, can you tell how they are now? How they are now? These are the individual elements. Now I have connected them into series. How they are now? How they are now? By seeing you can tell. They are in series, but how, on what basis you are saying they are in series? That I am asking. Is these two are series? No. These are series. How you are saying? Huh? Huh? By seeing you can tell one another, one after the other. R1 is connected. After R1, R2 is connected. One after the other or side by side. Can I say side by side or one after the other? R1 is connected after R1, R2 is connected. Yes, R1 is connected after R1, R2 is connected after R1. So R1 is connected to R2. After R1, R2 is connected. Okay, so R2 exists side of the R1. Side by side or one after the other? Yes, this is the one condition. Okay. If any elements are said to be series, if they connect side by side or one after other. One after other. It is the one condition. Okay. In order to, they are in series. We have to tell they are in series. It satisfies two conditions. It must satisfy two conditions. Okay, not one. If it is satisfying one condition, you cannot say they are in series. It is satisfying first condition. It is not satisfying second condition. They are not in series. It is satisfying second condition, but it is not satisfying first condition. They are not satisfied. Okay, that is, we cannot say they are in series. It must satisfy two conditions. What are they? First one is after R1, R2 is there, or after R2, R1 is there. So one after the other, or you can say side by side. Okay, right. Second one is if we assume a current of I is flowing here, a current of I is flowing. Okay, a current of I is leaving from 1, which is flowing towards the R1. After R1, the current leaves here. The same current is entering towards R2 and the same current is leaving. So, what is the current in R1? I. What is the current in R2? I. If the current flowing through the elements are equal, current flowing through the elements, what is the current in R1? I. What is the current in R2? I. If current flowing through the elements is equal, then I can say they are in series. This is the two conditions. Okay. I. What is the current in R1? I. What is the current in R2? I. Okay. I is equal to I. Okay. Current flowing through, or you can say current through the flowing through the elements. How many elements? Maybe R1, R2, R3, R4, any elements. Current flowing through the elements are equal, are same. This is the second condition. They must be side by side and they must be, the current must be equal. What is the current in R1 here? Same current here, same current is flowing. I current is flowing in R1. I current is flowing in R2. Yes, same current is flowing. And after R1, R2 exists. After R1, R2 exists. After R2, another element exists. Side by side, side by side. Okay, then I can say they are in series. This is the condition of series resistor. Okay, two conditions. Kindly write down these two conditions. I will give the notes, no need to worry, but before that, kindly write down otherwise. It's a important points. Write down that important points. Okay, right. Second one is parallel. Second one is parallel. Do you understand now? Do you understand what is the meaning of series? Okay, so now mic and this pen is connecting series. After pen, mic is exit. For example, current is flowing here. Current is same. Okay, so side by side or one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, the current flowing the both elements is equal. What is the current I? What is the current I? Same current. Then only you can say they are in series. Otherwise, no. Current is not equal. They are side by side. No. We cannot say they are in series. They are side by side, but current is not equal. You cannot say they are in series. Okay. current is equal, but they are not side by side. No, you cannot say they are in series. Okay, right. So second condition is, second connection is parallel. Parallel connection. What is mean by parallel connection now? You written this? Second one is parallel connection. Second one is parallel connection. So what is meant by parallel connection? You written this? Yes. Now I am connecting this R1, R2, two elements in a parallel. Kindly see how I am connecting parallel, and here also it has to be satisfy two conditions. Parallel, R1 resistor is in parallel with R2. When I am saying what is the condition it must satisfy? See, I am connecting now. It is R1, it is R2. It is terminal 1, it is terminal 2, it is terminal 3, it is terminal 4. Now here, this type of connection is known as parallel connection. They are not side by side. Okay, they are not up and down. Okay, by seeing what we have to say. Okay, you can say the other name other than the 1 and 2, you can say starting terminal. You can say end terminal. Here also starting terminal, end terminal. Okay, see the two elements R1 R2 starting terminal connected together. Starting terminal connected together and end terminal connected together. R1 starting terminal, R2 end terminal connected together. That is the first condition. Starting terminal like this. Again, end terminal is connected like this. So, if two elements are said to be in parallel, if starting terminal connected together as well as end terminal connected together, then only I am saying that this R1 is in parallel with R2. Okay, we are not commenting about different elements. I am saying R1 is in parallel with R2. Okay, R1 is in parallel with R2. If starting terminals connected together, end terminals are connected together, then I can say they are in parallel. Okay, that is the first condition. Okay, what is the first condition? Starting terminal and end terminals, or you can write terminals connected together. This is the first condition. Starting terminals is connected together, end terminals is connected together. Then I can say they are in parallel. That is the first condition. It is satisfying only first condition. No, I cannot say they are in parallel. It must satisfy second condition also. What is the second condition? Okay, so here also same. Let us assume a current of I is flowing here. Okay, yeah, let us assume a current of I is flowing here. I. So I current is flowing. Some way is there, some way is there. Way or path. Path or way. What happens to current? So current is here leaving here. Two ways are there. Two ways or three ways are there. What happens to current? Current always divides. Current always divides. So some of the current will flow here as I1. Some of the current will flow as I2. Total I current will not flow. Some of the current is shared to the two directions. Some current is flowing, some current is flowing. Other than the I, what is that some current? Name it as I1, name it as I2, name it as I3. Different currents other than the I. Okay, so here see, I is flowing. So upward some current will flow, name it as I1. downward some current will flow I2. So I1 current is flowing through the R1, I1 is current is flowing here. I2 current is flowing here. I2 current is flowing. What is the current through R1? I1. What is the current through R2? I2. So current, okay, current in both elements are not equal. Whereas series current is equal. Yes, what is the current series? Current flowing through R1 is equal to R2. But here current is not equal. Current is not equal here. What is the current in R1? Something current. What is the current in R2? Something current. Name it as different currents. Not equal. Okay. Current through the elements are not equal. Current through the elements. Elements are not equal. Okay. So these are the two conditions. It must satisfy. Write down this one condition. Okay. So if we know these 4 sentences, I can assure that you can solve any type of problem. Okay. Minimum. If you don't know series and if you don't know parallel, then you are unable to solve the problem. Okay. Right. Okay. Write down this one. After leaving the room, you will forget these two. Total how many? 4 sentences. If you're leaving the room, you are unable to write down or you are, okay, will not remind this one. You will forget that one. Okay, right. So current is equal side by side series. Simple. And starting terminal is connected together, end terminal is connected together, current is not equal, parallel. So please remind these 4 sentences. Then only you can say they are in series or they are in parallel, depending upon the conditions. Okay. Now I will draw a simple circuit. Okay. Now, can I erase this? Now you may ask, sir, you are saying it is a circuit. What is meant by circuit? What is meant by circuit? Electrical circuit or circuit. What is meant by circuit? Circuit. What is meant by circuit? Simply you can say interconnection of elements. Interconnection of elements is known as circuit. How they are connecting? We are not worrying whether they are in series, whether they are combination of parallel, whether they are in star, whether they are in delta, or any combination. They may be in series, they may be in parallel, they may be in star, they may be combination of anything. How they are connected? Connected. Anyone, any of 4 or combination. So interconnection of elements is known as circuit. So I am drawing a simple circuit. Now you tell me by seeing this, by knowing these 4 sentences, which are in series, which are in parallel. Okay. I am drawing here one. It is a terminal, B terminal, R1 resistor, R2 resistor, R3 resistor, R4 resistor, R5 resistor. You tell me which elements are in series, which elements are in parallel. Huh? Okay. We can take 11:15 as a break. 5 minutes break at 11:15. Just 5 minutes. Okay. Right. Now tell me, not now, after 5 minutes. Okay. In the above circuit, Amma, silence. In the above circuit, which elements are in series? Which elements are in parallel? Huh? No, 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 no. Any one of you stand up and tell me. బ్రేక్ ఇవ్వద్దా? కొంచెం 5 minutes ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైనా వాష్రూమ్ వెళ్తారు. Hello, tell me. Actually, one parameter is missing. How you are saying they are in series and parallel? Current direction requires, you may say, insufficient data, not series and parallel. అట్లుండదా మీకు ఇంటర్లో రాలే ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఇన్సఫిషియంట్ డేటా? సో I have to represent current direction. If current is flowing, then only you are able to tell whether they are in series and parallel. Current is flowing, then only you are saying they are in series or parallel. Okay, right. So here what it is a circuit. Listen amma, listen. It is a circuit. In order to know whether the elements are in series, amma silence. In order to know the elements are in series and parallel, if and only if the current direction and how much current is flowing in the elements. If I know, then only I am able to tell. If I don't know anything, how can you tell? No. So now for this purpose, let us assume, it is assumption only. Let us assume always a current of I is leaving from A. A current of I is leaving from A. Okay. Travels anywhere, returns to the B. Returns to the B. So it is returning here. We don't know what is the current. Okay. A current of I is leaving from A, travels anywhere and returns to the B. And now you tell me, now I is flowing here through R1. So there are two ways. One is right side towards R3, other is downward towards R2. So what is the current? Different current other than I. So let us name it as I1, let us name it as I2. So I2 current is flowing towards R3, I2 current is flowing towards R4, I2 current is flowing towards R5. Then here it is I1, here I2. Some current is flowing other than I1, other than I2, we don't know. Let us name it as I3. We don't know, let us name it as. Now, every representation is available by applying the condition of series, two conditions, applying the condition of parallel, two conditions. Now you tell me which are in series, which are in parallel. Which are in series, which are in parallel? You tell me now. Which are in series, which are in parallel? Or no one is in parallel, no one are in series. Yes? No, not like that. Huh? ఒక్కరన్నా చెప్తారని నేను ఆశిస్తున్నా. Which are in series, which are in parallel? చెప్పమ్మా, ఫస్ట్ బెంచ్ చెప్పు. చెప్పండి, which are in series or which are in parallel? R3, R4, R5 are in series. Yes? R3, R4, R5 are in series. On what basis you are saying? The current in R3 is I2, the current in R4 is I2, the current in R5 is I2. And after R3, R4 exists. After R4, R5 exists. After R3, R4. After R4, R5. So three resistors are one after the other. The current is equal. Can I say they are in series? Yes. Now you tell me, okay, series. What about remaining? Is there any elements are in parallel now? Is there any elements are in parallel now? Huh? R2, R2, R3 are in parallel. R2, R3 are in parallel. Or no? R2, R3 are in parallel. No. Why I am saying no? Current is different. Current is different. Okay, it is satisfying one condition. Current is not equal in R2, current is not equal in R3. But what is the other condition? Starting terminal of R2 is connected together with the starting terminal of R3. What about the R3 end terminal? End terminal. This end terminal is connected to R2 end terminal? No, not connected. Starting terminals must be connected together, end terminals must be connected together. Current is different. So I said it must satisfy two conditions. What are the two conditions? If R3, R2 are said to be in parallel, if their starting terminal is connected together, end terminal is connected together. Second one is current through the elements is not equal. Okay, here current is the element is not equal, but starting terminal is not connected to end terminal. You cannot say they are in parallel. Okay, you cannot say they are in parallel. ఫోన్ ఎవరు యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారమ్మా? యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారా మేడం? యూజ్ చేస్తే నాకు ఇచ్చేయండి ప్లీజ్. If anybody uses phone, okay, it indicates that I have taken. నేను తీసుకుంటే తిరుపతి ఉండిలో వేసినట్టే. ఏమైతే తిరుపతి ఉండిలో వేస్తే మళ్ళీ నీకు ఇస్తారా? ఎవరికి వెళ్తుంది? ఎవరికి వెళ్ళదు. మళ్ళీ రావాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? కోర్టుకు వెళ్ళాలి. తిరుపతి ఉండిలో ఫోన్ పడిపోతే మళ్ళీ రావాలి అంటే కోర్టుకు వెళ్ళాలి. తెలుసా మీకు అది? తెలియదా? డబ్బులు అయితే ఓకే, ఫోన్ పడిపోతే ఇవ్వరు, కోర్టుకు వెళ్ళాలి. ఆ కోర్టు అదంతా అయిపోయేసరికి నువ్వు చచ్చిపోతావు. ఓకేనా? రైట్. డోంట్ యూజ్ ఫోన్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్. రైట్ మేడం, కెన్ ఐ గివ్ 5 minutes ఆఫ్ బ్రేక్? ఇగో వినండి, ఒక్క నిమిషం వినాలి. 5 minutes బ్రేక్ అంటే 5 minutes బ్రేకే. నువ్వు 10 minutes తీసుకున్నావు అనుకో, 12:30 వరకు తీసుకుంటా నేను క్లాసు. నీ లంచ్ పోతుంది. ఓన్లీ 5 minutes బ్రేక్. విత్ ఇన్ 5 minutes యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి రిటర్న్. రైట్, 5 minutes. ఏ 5 minutes లో రావాలి తొందరగా. లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్. 5 minutes అయిపోయింది, ఇంకెంతసేపు? హాఫ్ అన్ అవరా? అమ్మ వచ్చేయాలి, బయట ఉన్న వాళ్ళు వచ్చేయాలి తొందరగా. బయట ఉన్న వాళ్ళు వచ్చేయాలి తొందరగా. కూర్చోండి కూర్చోండి అమ్మా, తొందర రావాలా. ఏంటమ్మా అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదా? తెలుగే మాట్లాడుతున్నా నేను. మా స్టూడెంట్స్ ప్లీజ్ సెటిల్ డౌన్. మేక్ ఏ నాయిస్ అంటే చేస్తారా? అది చేస్తారు కదా, మేక్ ఏ నాయిస్ అంటే. ఓకే ఓకే అమ్మా, సెటిల్ డౌన్ ఫాస్ట్, సెటిల్ డౌన్. రైట్. సో అమ్మా బీ సైలెన్స్. సో ఇన్ అబౌవ్ సర్క్యూట్, అమ్మా లేట్ చేస్తే మీకు లేట్ వదిలిపెట్టేస్తాం, లంచ్ లేదు ఇంకా. మరి అదే అంటున్నా. ఏం కాదులేండి, ఒకరోజు మనం భోజనం చేయకుండా వచ్చే నష్టం ఏం లేదు. ఏంటది? మీరు ఎప్పుడు ఉపవాస దీక్ష చేయలేదా? మరి ఎన్ని రోజులు చేసావు? ఒక్క పూటనా? సరే ఓకే, రైట్ రైట్. So in above circuit, okay, 3 elements are in series. So here no elements are in parallel. No elements are in parallel. Only 3 elements are in series. That is R3, R4, R5 are in series. No elements are in parallel. No elements are in parallel. But even though I have to get the required parameter. What we have to do for this? Step by step procedure we have to do. Okay, so now we'll start the problem. Okay, right. The question is, write down, the question is determine current delivered by the 30 voltage source. Determine current delivered by the 30 voltage source. Everyone has to be right. You have to do the problem. It is not a theory. You have to do the problem. We'll do step by step now. The question is determine current delivered by the 30 voltage source. So here we have to find out what is the meaning of this one. We have to find out what is the current which is leaving from positive terminal of 30 voltage source. That is the meaning actually. How much current is leaving from positive terminal of 30 voltage source. Okay, that is the question. Determine the current delivered by the 30 voltage source. Okay, or in other way, determine the total current of the circuit. Okay, both meanings are equal. Determine the total current of the circuit, or determine the current which is delivering from the 30 voltage source. It means how much current is leaving from positive voltage source, positive terminal of voltage source. That is nothing but total current which is delivering from the 30 voltage source. Total current or current which is delivering from the positive positive terminal of voltage source. So for this, what you have to do? We have to do step by step procedure. So my aim is to convert this total circuit into a single voltage source. Okay, one voltage source is available. Single resistor. This is V, this is R. Can I find out I now? One resistor is there, one voltage source is there. Can I find I here? Yes, by the no, by the formula of Ohm's law. Okay, voltage across resistor is equal to, okay, is equal to amount of current entering towards the resistor and its resistance. So this I. What is the formula for this? V equal to IR. So because of these are so many resistors are there, I need to convert these total resistors into single resistors. Okay, that is nothing but total resistors. So because of the current which is delivering from the voltage source, I am naming as total current. Because of this voltage source is only one voltage source which is applied to the circuit, simply I am renaming as total. V total, I total, R total. So here I need to find, my question is, what is I total? I total is equal to V total by R total. Now how can we find out R total? R total is nothing but by using or by knowing the concept of series and parallel. By knowing the concept of series and parallel, or the other name is circuit reduction technique. Circuit reduction technique or series and parallel circuits. Okay, concept. Okay, now I need to get this total circuit into single resistor named as total resistor. Total resistance. That is nothing but R total. R total is nothing but total current is flowing from the total voltage. So I total is equal V total by R total. Now my aim is to find out, I know the V total. If I know the R total, then I am able to find out I total. Okay, let us find out R total now. So by one, step by step method, we'll find out this. Okay, so for this, what you have to do? Let us assume two terminals named as A and B. Where they are? A and B terminals we have to keep, or we have to assign at a voltage source terminal. Positive terminal A, negative terminal B. A and B terminals. Okay, so here we know always the current which is leaving from positive terminal, that is A, travels anywhere, it has to be returned to the B or negative terminal. That is the condition of a current, property of current. Current always leave from the positive terminal, that is high potential, travels anywhere and returns to the negative terminal. Returns to the negative terminal. Okay, right. Now here, let us assume, okay, that is nothing but I. I is flowing here. I is flowing. Right side, current is dividing here. Right one way is there, downward one way. Two different currents. So two different names. Let us name it as I1. Let us name it as I2. Okay, this I1 is current is flowing like this. I1 is flowing like this. So and then, okay, here again this current I2 and I1. It is how much? I2. How much it is? I1. It is flowing towards here. So another current I3. We don't know. Okay, so I current is leaving from A, traveling through the R1, and it is dividing towards 3 ohm, dividing towards 4 ohm, and the same current is flowing here 3 and 5 and 6, and then here it is again dividing, both currents are dividing as some current, that is I3. Okay, so by knowing the concept of four sentences, that is series concept and parallel concept, Okay, now you tell me which are in series. So step by step we have to do. This is the long answer question. Okay, you will get in the exam. Okay, right. Now you tell me which are in series now. We'll step by step we will reduce the circuit and we'll convert this one into a single resistor. Okay, now by observing this circuit we can say 3 ohm resistor, 5 ohm resistor, 6 ohm resistor are in series. Why? After the 3 ohm resistor, 5 ohm resistor is existing. After 5 ohm resistor, 6 ohm resistor is existing. They are side by side. They are side by side, one after the other. Yes. After 3, 5. After 5, 6. Then current in a 3 ohm resistor is I1. Same current is flowing towards 3 ohm, 5 ohm and 6 ohm. Current is equal in a 3 ohm, 5 ohm, 6 ohm. And they are side by side. Now you can write like this as a solution. 3 ohm resistor, 5 ohm resistor, 6 ohm resistor are in series. In inter, I think you know, if 2 or 3 resistors are in series, 2 or 3 resistors are in series, 2 or 3 resistors are in series, then how can we reduce into single resistor? R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, that you know. Okay, that is not required now. Just to you know, you have to remember the formula. If any resistors are said to be in series, simply you can add them. Add them R1 plus R2 plus R3. Simple. 3 ohm plus 5 ohm plus 6 ohm. They are in series. Now it is reduced as a single resistor. How much value? 14 ohm. Redraw the circuit now. These 3 resistors is converted into now single resistor. Redraw the circuits. Okay. So by by don't touch remaining elements. Only whatever the elements are changed. The 3 elements are converted into single elements. Only the 3 elements. Okay. Don't disturb remaining elements. Okay. Right. So here 30 voltage source. Voltage plus minus. Here how much? 1 ohm. Here how much? 4 ohm. Okay, these 3 are there. These 3 are converted into one resistor. Draw only one resistor. Only one resistor. These 3 resistors is converted into only one resistor. Only one resistor. How much now it is? 14 ohm. 3 plus 5 plus 6 is nothing but 14. 14 kada? 14. Now, okay. This circuit is now converted into like this. Okay. Now same. We have to reduce the circuit. Let us assume it is A terminal, this is B terminal. Let us assume a current of I is leaving from A, travels anywhere right side as I1, downward as I2. Same current here, I2 is coming, here I1 is coming. That I1 and I2 currents are leaving as some I3. We don't know that current, so name it as other current. I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, like that. Okay. Now you tell me for this circuit, which resistors are in series, which resistors are in parallel. For this circuit, which resistors are in series, which resistors are in parallel? Which resistors are in series, which resistors are in parallel? What is the condition for series? What is the condition for parallel? Parallel means starting terminal connected together, end terminal is connected together, current is different. You can say they are in parallel. Series means if they are connected side by side, current is equal, then they are said to be series. Now you tell me which are in series, which are in parallel for this circuit. Which are in series, which are in parallel? 14 and 4 are in parallel. Yes? Say yes or no. See. Okay, no need to buy hard. See, 4 ohm is here, 4 ohm starting terminal, 14 ohm starting terminal, 4 ohm end terminal, 14 ohm end terminal connected together. You can write like this. It is answer only, not rough. So 4 ohm starting terminal, 14 ohm starting terminal, 4 ohm end terminal, 14 ohm end terminal connected together, and the current is different. Okay, what is the condition for parallel? Current is different. Yes, current is different. What is the current here? I2. What is the current here? I2, I1. Okay, current is not equal. Other one is starting terminal is connected together of 4 ohm and 14. End terminal of 4 and 14 are end terminals are connected together. I can say they are in parallel. What is the formula for parallel? Two resistors are said to be in parallel. What is the formula? General, that is 1 by R total, but we require R total. 1 by R total is equal to two resistors, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So we require R total. Okay, what is R total now? R total is equal to R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, so this is R total. If any two resistors are said to be in parallel, okay, then what is the conversion formula? Two resistors are converted into single resistor as R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. This is the formula. Kindly remember this one. Don't remember this one. Remember this one. Why? Because in the exam you will get a two resistors and three resistors. That's all. Two resistors and three resistors. Not more than that. R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. Series means addition. R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4. Two resistors parallel, R1, R2 by R1 plus R2. Now you convert these two resistors. Yes, you understand these are in parallel. Yes, you understand these two are in parallel. 4 ohm starting terminal, 14 ohm starting terminal connected together. 4 ohm end terminal, 14 ohm end terminal connected together. Starting terminal connected together, end terminal connected together, current is different. It is satisfying two conditions. Yes, if it is satisfies the two conditions, then you can say they are in parallel. So convert into formula as single resistor by 4 into 14 by 4 plus 14. How much it is? 4 into 14 by 4 plus 14, how much? Into convert that one. 7? 7 by 2, then? అవునమ్మా, తర్వాత ఇంకా క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ యూజ్ చేసి చెప్పు. ఇంకా చెప్పండి తొందరగా. యూజ్ 3 point. So after digit, amma లేదా after digit for any problem, after digit you take 3 decimals or 3 digits. 3 point. I have to use my phone otherwise. Do you have calculator? No? So the answer is 3.111. Okay, now these two resistors is converted into single resistor as 3.11 ohm. Now redraw the circuit. మీరు ప్యారలల్ గా ప్రాబ్లం చేయండి, ఓన్లీ వేయడం కాదు కదా ప్రాబ్లం కదా ఇది, రాయండి. సో ఆఫ్టర్ దిస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కన్వర్టెడ్ ఇంటూ నౌ redraw the circuit. So as 1 ohm resistor and then this 4 and 14 is converted into single resistor. How much? 3.111. This two resistors is converted into single resistor. Okay, keeping this 30 and 1 are same. Only 4 and 14 is converted into single resistor. Draw only one resistor. What is that one resistor? 3.11 ohm. Now 30 voltage source plus minus and 1 ohm resistor. Now you tell me how they are. Here AB terminal is there. How they are now? 1 and 3.11 ohm. How they are? They are in series. Let us assume for this what you have to do? Simple. Let us assume a current of I is leaving from A, travels anywhere and returns to the B or negative terminal. Positive terminal current is leaving, current is entering towards minus terminal. Leaving from plus, travels anywhere, return to the minus. They are in series. Okay, what is the formula? 1 plus 3.111 is equal to 4.111 ohm. Now, how many resistors are now? Only one resistor is there, one voltage source is there. Can I find I total now? Find out I total is equal to 30 by 3.111. How much? How much? 30 by 3.11. 30 voltage source, 30 voltage source plus it is how much? 4.111. Yes? 3.111, how much? 4.111. Now here only one resistor is available, one voltage source is available. So I am able to find out the current, that is I total. So I total is equal to 30 by 4.111. How much it is? I total is equal to 7.297 amps. Current is measured in amps. Don't forget to write down the units of the parameter value. 3 point means what is the value? It current, is the voltage, is the power, is the energy, anything. Okay, write down the unit. So this is the way of doing the problem by using circuit reduction technique. Kindly note down. First two question, this one, after this one, after this one, after this one. This is the last one. Okay. So step by step procedure. It's a long answer you will get in the exam. Okay. Can I erase? తొందరగా రాయాలి, లేట్ చేయొద్దు. లాంగ్ ఆన్సర్ క్వశ్చన్ ఎన్ని మార్కులు ఉంటుంది మీకు? ఎన్ని మార్కులు ఉంటుంది? 10 మార్క్సా, 13 మార్క్సా, 15 మార్క్సా? 8 అయితే 8. Okay, I'm erasing now, or I will move this one. లేట్ చేయొద్దమ్మా. By the evening 4 o'clock we have to complete at least up to superposition theorem. Okay, two more methods are there. One is called mesh analysis and other one is called superposition theorem. These two methods we have to complete by the evening. So at least we have to do two problems or three problems from the using mesh analysis, superposition theorem, 2 problems. We have to complete by 4 o'clock. So with this, that first unit, 90% syllabus is over. Okay, if we complete that mesh analysis and superposition theorem. Otherwise, no. So be fast. Okay, right. We'll do one more problem on this. Simple problem you do. It is a simple problem. 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 5 ohm. This is a 20 voltage source. The question is, determine the total current of the circuit. The question is, determine the total current of the circuit. So what you have to do? Let us assume a current which is leaving from positive terminal of voltage source and travels anywhere, it is returning to the negative terminal of voltage source. A is leaving, B is on terminating. Okay, so here we have to name it as A, name it as B. A and B. Same, current is leaving as I, right side I1, downward I2, downward is I2. Here we don't know I1, I2 is coming towards here. It is I3. I1 and I3 we don't know. Now you tell me which are sir GCC poda. Step by step we will do. After this, which are in series, which are in parallel. Current is equal. If they are side by side, then I can say they are in series. Or current divides, current is not equal. Starting terminal is connected, end terminal is connected. They are in parallel. Now you tell me. Above circuit, which are in series, which are in parallel. All are in series. All are in parallel. How they are now? Tell me which are in series, which are in parallel. Step by step we will do. Amma, tell me. చెప్పడానికి ఎందుకు భయపడుతున్నారు? ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్పొచ్చు కదా, సిరీస్ అన్న ప్యారలల్ అన్న. టెల్ మీ. Tell me which are in series or which are in parallel. Huh? One. Yes, 1 and 2 are in parallel. Okay. The current flowing through the 1 ohm is I2. The current flowing in 2 ohm is I1. Current is different. Okay, current is not equal. The starting terminal of 1 ohm and 2 ohm connected together and end terminal of 1 ohm and 2 ohm connected together. Yes, yes, current is different. Starting terminals is connected, end terminals are connected. Then I can say they are in parallel. So 1, this is a parallel symbol. Okay, 1 is in parallel with 2. If I write 2 backslash, it indicates that they are in parallel. So 1 is in parallel with 2 means 1 into 2 R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. That is 2 by 3. 2 by 3 how much? 2 by 3 how much? 0.66. One more? 6. 0.666. Okay, now these two are in parallel. Now these two resistors are converted into single resistor. Okay, how much? Single resistor 0.66. Now I am redrawing the circuit. This 3 ohm same and 5 ohm is same. 5 ohm. How much it is? 20 voltage source plus minus. This 1 and 2 is converted into only one resistor. That is nothing but how much? 0.666. Oh. Okay. This is answer only, not rough. Okay, you can write down one by one. Huh? Right. After this, here, how they are? Let us assume a current of I is leaving from A and terminating on B. I is leaving. How they are? Hmm? How they are? Series. The current in 3 ohm is I. The current in 0.66 is I. The current in 5 ohm is I. And after 3 ohm, 0.66 is available. After 0.66, 5 ohm is available. They are connected side by side, one after the other. Current is equal. Then I can say they are in a series. What is the formula for series? 3 plus 0.666 plus 5. This is now how much? 8.666. Now read the circuit. 8.666. One voltage source, one resistor. Yes? V total is equal to I total into R total. I total is nothing but V total by R total. So this total circuit is converted into single resistor as R total. Now I total is nothing but V total by R total. V total is nothing but 20 voltage source by R total is 8.666. How much it is now? 20 by 8.666. Huh? 2.3 amps. So this is the value of the current which is leaving from 20 voltage source positive terminal. Okay. What is the meaning of this I total? The current which is leaving from positive terminal of 20 voltage source. The current which is leaving from positive terminal of 20 voltage source. Okay. The current which is leaving from positive terminal of 20 voltage source. Okay. Right. Now next. Now we will Amma, note down this. Note down this. All right. Now, so when compared to previous problems, that is first problem and second problem, what is the difference between that two problems and this problem? Two voltage sources are there. Then are we able to find out total current of the circuit? Are we able to find out total current of the circuit? Are we able to find out total current of the circuit? How? What is the meaning of total current? The current which is leaving from positive terminal of voltage source. అని చెప్దాం పంపించేస్తారా బై 5 minutes 1కి వస్తారా ఏడొస్తారు రారు వాళ్ళు 1కి సరే పంపిద్దాం ఓకే వెయిట్ లిజన్ వెయిట్ so here the current which is leaving from positive terminal of 10 voltage source some current, the current which is leaving from 20 voltage source some current other than I1, Two currents are there. So circuit reduction technique, what we have done for both problems, circuit reduction techniques. Resistors is converted into single resistor. It is not possible here. It is not possible here. Okay. So we have to move another method called as mesh analysis. Okay. So after lunch, you come exactly 1 o'clock. We'll complete this one. Listen, mesh analysis and superposition theorem. These two are left, and theory about Kirchhoff laws will complete by afternoon. Okay, you can leave now. Thank you. Right. Come by, return by 1 o'clock. Return by 1 o'clock. Right. Thank you.